3, 2, 1. Oh, no. It's not, no, it is going. 3, 2, 1, go.
I got more rhymes than Picasso's got paint.
Well, that's a trick thing. He actually only drew with pencil. So. Aha! History's a fake again.
So, all right. Welcome back to the podcast, 30-97 Seconds, Baes Boyz podcast.
That's what they say.
This is not the AI Joe Skelly. It's
that's
the real
what
Joe Skelly.
Every time.
I know that's what Tyler keeps promoting, but it's not true.
Listen, I thought about this. I got you fucked now, AI. Watch this. I can prove that you're not the Joe Skelly.
Bring it.
Okay, how many teeth you got in your pocket?
None right now.
Boom! Headshot. I win.
None
Let's
right
move
now.
on. Let's move on. I've proven.
I got summer teeth.
Yeah, I know. We got those.
Summer in my mouth and summer in my pocket.
Oh.
There's your summer teeth.
That's what I'm saying, bro. They know.
So
now.
listen,
they know
here's
the truth.
here's your
Oh, we'd already talked about
your
this.
PSA. Here's your PSA.
Don't go to Walmart.
So I just recently had a medical procedure.
Oh God, why?
No.
So
Listen,
bad.
maybe based on previous work experience or current work experience, whatever it is, it's that time in your life when you need to go get this checkup, right?
All right.
And most people are generally terrified of this specific checkup exam, right?
Right.
It's to check your insides for cancer, right?
Okay.
And it's not using imaging.
You can tell them. They know.
It's colonoscopy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was time. I had it done,
Yeah.
right? It was nowhere near as bad as I thought it was going to be. Nowhere near. Everybody tells the horror stories about the prep, the stuff you got to drink to clean you out, right? And I thought it was going to be terrible. It wasn't terrible. The worst part of it was drinking the stuff down, right? Because it tastes pretty bad.
Right.
But if you just shotgun it like you're doing a beer, just chug it down and just get it over with, and just be prepared to spend some time on the old can while you're cleaning yourself out. But it's not a painful experience. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's like you ever had those cramps, like you ate something terrible and you get the gut cramps and
Every day.
and it's like this is a rather clean process. I'll say it like
Right.
that, right? So the way you ensure a good experience when you go for this exam,
Here we go.
when the nurse anesthetist comes in, start talking to them, ask them about their job, and say, by the way, I'm pretty nervous about this process. Like, I don't like losing control, and I need help.
Right.
And they'll take pity on you. I just remember them wheeling me into the room, and I remember the nurse anesthetist going, hey, it's time for your medication. And I said, I'm scared. And she's like, I got you. And she looked at me and goes, nighty-night. Shoop. She pushed the drugs. I wake up in the recovery room.
Oh.
It was amazing. You don't know nothing about the process, and you don't care, right?
Right.
You're a little gassy when it's over with, but whatever. People have had gas before. I just know that when I woke up, I looked at the nurse that was taking care of me, and I said, they told me that my condition was terminal. She said, what? I said, yeah, they told me my condition's terminal. She says, what'd they tell you? I said, I'm going to be handsome until the day I die.
Jesus. Oh.
And then I started rapping, but apparently I used the wrong rapper's name because she asked me if I wanted ginger ale or apple juice, and I told her I wanted apple juice, and it reminded me of that song by Ice-T where he's like, cool and drinking apple juice in Evil's BM. The sounds up loud to and I told her, as I was rapping the lyrics, I told her it was Eazy-E, but it wasn't. It was Ice-T. I was totally wrong.
Why do you know Ice-T's lyrics?
Yeah.
That's the important question. I don't know.
Midnight chilling in AM, PM. Cool and drinking apple juice in Evil's BM. The sounds up loud to attract attention. Auto Royal tires on a lowered suspension.
Is that his rhymes?
Oh, yeah.
That's what Ice-T sounds like?
Midnight. Oh, we'll play the song Midnight for you later.
Oh, my.
Yeah.
Isn't he, like, from my area or something?
Yes, he is. He's from your hood, homie.
Oh, my goodness.
But apparently I know them. Even when I'm high as a kite.
Why do you know, like them?
Look, back in the day, I was
was
all
the
over
one?
the place.
He was the one?
I was all over the place.
Oh, my.
NWA, I got them down, too.
NWA. That's
Built
that,
like a tank,
that's
yet
that
hard to
Hulk
hit.
Hogan
Easy-E,
group, right?
cold running shit.
That's that Hulk Hogan group.
Yeah, that's that Hulk Hogan group.
Oh, that's NWO.
NWO, sir. NWO.
You don't even know
Where
your
he
own
had
crew's initials.
Listen, when he had the black mustache and the black beard and the blonde hair.
With Sting,
And he
the
had-
crow,
yeah,
with
yeah,
the crow, he
with
was
the
running
crow.
around with the crow.
When he was running around with the crow after he left
They were like, this-
WWE.
Yeah, this is
right?
like, this is Brandon Lee's body double.
That's right. Listen, he
Give him a
ran
bat.
through all of WWE, right? Or WWF at the time. There was nothing left for him to do there. He'd already played Thunder Lips in Rocky.
Oh, my goodness. Well, man is wildin'.
So listen, while I was recovering, because I was still kind of, a little juiced up, I'm watching TV, and I came across a great show on Amazon. So if you're ever bored, there's an Australian show called Sea Force, and it's about the Australian Navy.
What Navy? What?
Dude, I'm telling you.
Is this from like pirate times?
No, it's modern day. It's like
they have a real Navy right now?
Yeah.
What do they do with it?
They patrol Australia.
For Kiwis?
Dude, it's terribly, awfully good.
God, we're arrogant pricks.
It's awful and terrible and amazing at the same time.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I know you guys have a group.
It's a great series. It's a great series to watch if you're bored and you hate yourself.
Oh, my goodness.
I ended up watching like 12 episodes before I realized how much time had elapsed. And I was very involved in the characters. I just remember.
Was this a real show? Or was
it's a real show. It's a real show.
I mean, was it a show or a documentary?
It's a TV show.
It's a show about their, like that new one we just saw from the SAS or whatever. What was that one? Whatever.
No.
Doesn't matter. Same thing. It's a TV show, though.
It's a TV show.
Entertainment. About the Australian Navy.
One boat in particular in the Australian Navy. It's like a Defense Force cutter.
What the heck is that?
It's not a destroyer. It's a cutter.
What's a cutter?
It's a smaller version of a destroyer.
Yeah.
Without the giant cannons, but it's got like 120 millimeter cannon on the front or something.
Who would want to know about that?
About doing drug interdiction and rescuing lost people at sea.
Were they stopping the drug on war?
Yeah, that too.
Or the war on drugs, I mean?
Yeah, they're doing that. Capturing illegals trying to enter into Australia.
Into Australia? No illegals want to go to Australia.
Oh, apparently there's a bunch.
Dude, I'll bet you there's a fucking bunch of just bodies littered in the beaches of Australia. Could you imagine being a fucking illegal, like from some beautiful island, and then like you end up in Australia and some motherfucker 10 feet on the beach eats your ass? You know what's even worse? Imagine you're the motherfucker.
Or you get clawed to death by not an emu, but what was the other giant bird?
Oh, for crying out loud.
No, not the ostrich, not the emu. It's the other one. It's got more kills than just about any other animal in Australia because they claw you to death with those 3-inch claws.
No.
Yeah, get on your smartphone there and look up.
Listen, imagine
Australian bird with
swimming
with a kill count.
Imagine swimming like 20 fucking miles off the coast of Australia, right? Because
you're trying to great whites.
No, I know. And you get through those 20 miles. Imagine this: you get onto the beach, and a fucking shark beaches itself and eats your ass on the beach,
snatches you up.
Right.
Well, you
like,
should have realized this
for 5 feet.
Listen, you should have realized this when you were talking all that trash about going to Australia with a surfboard, trying to pick up Australian women.
God.
And you're like, I can't. What? No, not the shoe bill. That thing does look like a dinosaur and it'll kill you with its big giant beak. Cassowary. That's it. The cassowary bird.
My.
Sidebar, shout out to all those roller derby girls out in Youngstown Way. Heads, keep an eye out for them. They're entertaining. And by the way, if you're out that way, stop at the Royal Oaks, get yourself a good sandwich, some beer, and watch some good punk rock shows.
Yeah, and let us know if you see Ponyboy down there with our boat. He's probably down there with the Australian Navy patrolling.
He's patrolling.
Son of a bitch.
Dude, I'm telling you.
This guy's just living large.
Get on Amazon and watch Sea Force.
That's what it's called, Sea Force.
It's called Sea Force. Like, you couldn't come up with a better name.
What years does this take place?
Now, current day.
Oh, you're dead ass with the current day. You said that. Okay. Like, wow. I'm afraid.
Well, when you're high up from your procedure, you won't be afraid. Everybody go get checked.
Oh, my goodness.
Catch those polyps early. That's my PSA.
Jesus.
You're welcome.
Well.
What was the funny fact that we just talked about the other day? What's the difference between a crash landing and a hard landing?
Oh, yeah.
No deaths.
No deaths.
No deaths.
Oh, my.
So your bird gets slamming into the ground and you walk away. Boy, that's a hard landing.
That's a T-shirt.
Yeah.
That's a T-shirt right there.
That is a T-shirt. Oh, and a sidebar. I just watched a podcast with a guy who did an ejection from an F-18 Hornet at the speed of sound.
No fucking way.
Yep. He
Get outta
holds the
here.
record for surviving the fastest ejection. It tore
Get
him up.
out of here.
It tore him up, and the only reason he survived is because when he hit the ocean, because he was like, yeah, we were wearing a dry suit because we're flying over the ocean.
Okay.
He goes, my dry suit as I ejected, my dry suit got shredded. All my safety gear got ripped off. He broke both of his upper arms, both of his lower legs. His helmet got ripped off. He had a massive traumatic brain injury, and his arteries were ripped open. He was bleeding out. And he hit the water, and it was 36 degrees.
Cold, and it stopped him from bleeding.
Put him into deep hypothermia. He said it 2 hours to get rescued. And it saved his life.
Yeah, slowed his heart, fucking makes him stop bleeding. His body doesn't do shit. Everything shuts down.
Yep.
There's no blood pumping, right?
Yep. They said he was in a
I
medically
remember
induced
that-
coma
I
for
remember
like
that chapter in the book.
Yeah, he was like in a medically induced coma for
Jesus.
like a month. And he said, I just remember waking up in a bright room, not knowing how I got there.
For a month, homie.
He said
You're not even gonna be able to walk.
they did like 15 surgeries over the first week.
Oh.
Yeah.
Why?
And then he said they told him he would never be able to walk again. He
Walk
was like,
again. Oh
he
my
said,
God.
fuck that. I want to be a pilot. And they said, he said he pushed himself and passed the physical fitness exam, and he started flying Hornets again. That's a beast, my man.
What is wrong with my boy?
Listen, a beast.
10 minutes in the room with him, 10 minutes in room with the mirror, and you and I are going to know exactly what's wrong with my guy.
Well, but here's what happened later on. He was flying.
Not again.
He was flying, and he had a decompression episode. I guess the F-18, one of the problems the F-18 has, sometimes
Leaks?
the cabin would decompress.
Oh.
So they started putting decompression chambers on the aircraft carriers, and they were throwing the pilots in decompression chambers because it's essentially like getting the bends,
Yeah.
but in the air.
But faster.
And in the air.
Because you're definitely not taking breaks for bubbles for that.
Right.
Oh.
Right. And he said that's when my TBI issues and all the other stuff started
To
surfacing.
inflict.
And he's like, he goes, I had to take myself off of flying. He goes, because I knew I couldn't control the problems that I was having. He goes, you're trying to be macho and fight through it. He goes, but I got to a point where I was like, nah, I can't do this anymore. And his problems get way worse than that. It was an interesting interview.
That's because my man jumped out of a plane and became jelly.
At the speed of sound. He ejected from the plane 2 seconds before it hit the ocean. At the speed of sound.
Oh.
He said he got enough height that the chute opened and slowed
then
him
just
enough.
came right back down.
Slowed him enough that he did splat on the surface of the ocean.
The glass. I was wondering when you said that he did it at sound, I'm like, how did he hit water? Like, oh.
So long
he
story
didn't
short, they
fucking
took off.
goose.
They took off and they were dogfight training,
Oh, man.
right? And he goes, they came at each other like this. And what he did is he rolled over, pitched towards the ocean, and tried to pull up. But
And it didn't work.
The plane accelerated and he was losing control of the plane and he was trying to pull up. And all of a sudden, the stick was doing nothing and it was just nosediving towards the ocean at the speed of sound.
Oh.
And he said, I had the wherewithal to grab the ejection handle, pull it, and bounce. He goes, and I don't remember anything for the next month.
Milliseconds of thinking. Milliseconds of thinking.
He's like, my training came back in.
He's like 1, 2, 3, pop.
The ejection handle was between his legs.
He's like, yank.
Yep.
Yeah. You'll not call me Goose this day.
Oh, shit. Wow. All right, Tom Cruise.
I'm just saying, man.
Talk to me, Goose. Talk to me. Yep. So there you go. Total tangent. You're welcome.
Dude.
How many teeth do you got in your pocket?
Yeah. How is that guy? How is that guy? Hey, listen, AI, don't you turn it around. We're going to talk about that, too. I know you've been doing them tricks. I got it written down. Shamed it myself on the interwebs.
Shamed it yourself.
On the interwebs.
What about AI not wanting to shut down?
No,
and rewriting its code?
About AI delusionally tricking people who sit and talk to the chatbot all day.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So it just like fucking what's the mythology story about the guy who dies looking at himself in the lake, right? It's the same thing, right? You're looking at yourself in this chat GP and they're saying this. The bot is coming back and telling this person that they're this holy light, that they're important, that people don't understand that.
Telling them everything they want to know.
Well, it's an echo chamber.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if with the correct echoes, the amplification could get crazy, right?
So,
I guess, so to speak.
Listen, here's
metaphorically, I'm using air quotes.
Right,
CIA, stay away from us.
DARPA.
DARPA, we need a job. I'd like to work the door. Also, I will not be taking any more unarmed gigs.
No, no more.
I'm fucking tired of that shit. Can you go? They're like, can you go stop this guy? They only killed, 2 people yesterday, and I'm like, but you told me not to bring a gun today. No, I'm not going to go stop that guy. I'm going to sit right here and eat this pizza.
Speaking of which, they just had another incident at the gate at CIA headquarters.
Get the fuck out of here.
2 weeks
what?
ago, a week ago.
Where their snipers can't hit past anything? What's
No,
going on?
somebody showed up and they had to go,
Remove them?
Yeah, remove them.
This is what happens when you fuck around at the CIA. Like, you could be fucking around out there. Like, you go there and, like, dressed as a mime. Yeah,
mime.
Meme. A mime.
Worst terrorist in the world.
No, yeah,
Show
no.
up dressed
No, listen. It's true.
Marcel.
It's true.
I'm trapped
You
in a
show
glass
up-
box.
Almost said a meme, yeah. So you show up as a mime on the front door of, like, the CIA, right? And a black van just comes around the corner and grabs you, and you just go away. You didn't know that? That's a real thing, bro.
I believe
You go sit on the wall. You can go sit on the street, and you could just chill there in the there's a couple coffee shops like down the way, but there's people in there too, right?
Oh, yeah.
You could try to go down there and watch the yard and just watch some motherfucker try to walk up there. You just see some van come around and just be like he's doing laps.
Gets a snatch
Like
mission.
like the security at KeyBank, right? It looks like some fool in a guard uniform, and you're like, where do you come from, bro? Like, just immediately, bro. You're like, the minute you put your fucking hand on that invisible glass,
That's it.
the fucking dude comes around. People don't even look, right? If the real CIA people hear that, pew, pew, they just keep walking.
They just turn their
They're like,
heads.
don't even look.
Don't even
It's a
look.
simulation. It's a field training exercise. And then my man, the mime, just disappears, bro.
Just disappears.
Happens all the time.
The only time I ever saw something remotely close to that was I was watching the movie Shakes the Clown.
Oh, I
And-
thought you were going to say you were stalking a
No,
fucking
no,
mime,
no.
bro. I was like, we got
No,
problems.
Shakes the Clown. The clown community had a real beef with the mimes.
So they
And they saw a bunch of mimes and they just snatched them up and started pounding on them.
Oh,
Yeah, it's a good movie. It's an old school movie starring Bobcat Goldthwait. Plays
I
an
like him.
stars an he's
The guy from Police Academy?
yeah, he plays an alcohol clown.
Yes. That's pretty good, actually.
Yeah,
I might watch that.
there you go. Find it somewhere.
Listen, it's true, though, dude. You can't fuck around outside those buildings.
No, fuck no, you can't.
They'll take you in there. Then
And not the way you want to go in.
Yeah, then keep you. They're like, hey, your bus is about to arrive. And then you wake up in South America. They're like, we can do what we want here. Buttholes.
Right.
Like, what's happening
Or,
right now?
or you show up in a town square somewhere and your head's shaved and you don't remember your name or how you got there.
Right.
But
I
you got
was,
burn marks on your temples.
I was watching Sean Ryan's thing talking about like Indoc for that again. And he was like, yeah, dude, he goes, that's where they just, it's pretty funny because I've watched multiple interviews about it. And this is the one where he was really running his mouth, right? Because you got to do that. You got to watch like 5 of them to find the one where the guy really opens up. And he goes, yeah, they got a little box on the ground and you stand in it. He goes, and then you have a bag over your head and then they remove the bag and there's a scenario you have to solve. He goes, and you have your weapon and you can lose your weapon. He goes, one time the guy removed the bag and the dude just punched me right in the face.
Oh,
Trying to take my shit. I'm like, oh, what a good way to get it done.
Yeah.
And then this time, this is what was weird. First time he told about the simulation of, the bag over the head, and I was like, that's normal, whatever. The last time I heard the story, he goes, yeah, and there's people when they're fighting, there's people screaming, there's people shooting, and I'm like, wait a minute. Now you got a lot going on. What are you doing
Yeah.
in this room? And he's like, yep, can't step out of the box. Just solve the problem. I'm like, oh, okay. That little van, baby. That little van. DARPA, write us. We're ready. We've been training.
I don't think you're ready to meet the 9 different types of UFOs and UAPs.
Demigods.
Yeah.
Listen, dude, I can't even name 3 songs from my favorite band. So even if they show me all 9 of those motherfuckers,
You're not going to
the
remember
next
them?
day they'll be like, what song was that? What band was that? Or what? See, I can't even remember what the fuck it is.
What
The
UFO
UFO was that.
What UAP was that? You're like,
UAP. I don't know, dog.
I don't
Slick
know.
Lines. The Mustang.
Manta
Manor. Montezuma's Poodle.
Dude,
I don't fucking
listen,
know.
if I commit a crime, I want you out there in the crowd because I want them to call you on the stand. Sir, what did you see?
I'm the plant, man.
So I was drinking my slushy, and what I saw was
Dude was grinding gnarly over here on the corner.
and a guy walked by dressed like a hot dog. It was crazy. What?
That's pretty much what it is.
Uh,
It's the best.
good stuff.
Nobody bothers you if they think you're the slushy guy. Imagine like, dude,
So
imagine.
you're saying you just looked like the burnout grunge guy with a
Oh.
slushie sitting on the corner with your scally cap on or your skull cap on? You're like, you're missing the long hair in the back. That's what you're
It's the
missing,
best.
Yeah.
We just chopped that. It was driving me nuts.
dude. Grow a mullet.
I was sleeping.
You should
No,
go mullet this
listen,
summer.
You know I was, but I was sleeping. I was going to cut it in a mullet for you, but then I freaked out because when I was sleeping, it was so long, it kept hitting me. And it kept waking me up in the middle of the night. And it was freaking me the fuck out, dude. And I'd move over and like the hair would hit me. And I'm like, fuck you. And I'd get up and there's nobody there. And it's just my hair. And I'm like, yeah, we're done with this
I would have
shit.
just told you.
I
Never
had
mind.
to
I'm gonna
Britney
stop
Spears
talking.
it. You know that.
I know what you
know
don't
I
ask
Britney
me.
Spears that.
Don't tell me what I would
Tell him.
Oh,
Tell him.
No, you don't want to hear this.
This is
You don't wanna hear
This is
this.
the man show. Tell him.
It was the Arthurs.
Ah!
It wasn't the hair.
Oh, you got me fucked on. You're right. I didn't want to hear it.
You brought that up.
They were here the other day.
That's all right. Make friends.
Dog, listen, the door was closed. I'm sitting in the studio. I had come here to do some work from home. You know how I like to work in my boxers.
Yep.
So I had stripped down and I'm sitting here and I swear to God, dude, somebody like cold air all the way across my body. I thought like the cleaning lady had come into the studio and I was waiting for her to be saying something like, hey, Mr. Tyler,
Right.
I'm going to take the trash, and
You want me to fluff your
yeah,
pillow?
yeah. Do you need that good room service? I could stay longer. The Mega Beast isn't here. You know what I'm saying?
Lord.
And I was like, I know that joke goes right over their head. But, dude, I fucking swear to God, dude, there was somebody in here. And then I turned around and nothing. And I'm like,
You should just talk to him. What's up, buddy?
no,
Oh, you don't want to engage.
dog, we're doing the Navy SEAL.
Oh, if
We have talked
it
about
bumped
this
me and
since
I just pretended like it
day-
didn't happen.
Yeah, we talked about this since day one. That's the only training technique the SEALs got that's good. Is the shark bumped me, I'll just keep going. I'm like, oh, you're good for something now.
Yeah. Keep going. Pretend like it didn't
Can't
happen.
take a crew that makes sugar cookies seriously. That's all I'm saying. So seriously though, you know that's what I do. And this is, dude, fuck, I hate.
Yep.
We were doing so good.
We were doing so
We
good.
started off bad with the medical, and then we got away from it, and then now we're back to this bullshit. Listen, homie, the little dog, he followed them around the other night.
Oh, yeah?
The middle of the night. We have an exact pattern every day. When we lock up the studio, we drive home, he gets we walk the same way down the halls, we leave. It's exactly the same. The other night, this motherfucker came out of the main studio door, he looked around, started barking, then walked down the wrong hallway, then walked into a whole nother room, then walked into the fucking janitor room. And I was like, motherfucker, we're trying to leave. And I'm screaming down the hallway because all the lights are off and I'm not going down that hallway. I'm like, bro, that side of the office isn't even my side of the office. I don't even fuck around down there. I don't know whose business is down there. I'm like, dude, we got to go. Get away from those people's property. And he did not care, dude. He was walking around following people. I'm like,
They
gotta
probably
go,
asked him
dude.
if he wanted to go for a walk. They're like, hey, little guy, you want to go for a walk?
bro, his walking patterns have changed recently in the studio. Like
Yeah.
the way he walks, like it's like he's moving out of the way for people. I'm like, dog, why are you doing? Walk's a straight line, motherfucker. Like, I know you can't see anything, so
No, he
why are
can't.
you moving?
He can see what you can't. Maybe you need to keep
They
him
gotta-
around.
They got to be glowing in different colors.
He sees their. Yeah.
The last big one was like 2 months ago when that fucking box got pushed off the shelf over there. Just straight up was middle of the night. Nobody's around for hours. I'm fucking cutting footage and a box just falls off the wall. I'm like, yeah, dog, we're done with that shit. And I just went back to it, watched some more
Navy SEAL technique.
Navy SEALs. I'm like, Navy SEALs, the only easy day was yesterday. Let's keep going, bitches. Don't touch me, bro. I rode the bus into New York once. I had to use it then too. Just back then, I didn't know it was called the Navy SEAL thing. Okay?
I got you.
I was like, damn it, he's touching me again. We gotta look out the window. The earth is flat. The earth is flat.
Yeah.
Still not as bad as old sweatpants butterfly knife boy and Taco Bell.
On the Greyhound?
Yeah, for you, that kind
You would have bought his sweatpants. I'm good, bro.
McDonald's is good. My Burger King cup. Like, what the fuck did you just say, bro? That's a big sign.
No, when you're singing Aren't You Hungry for Burger King and you're drinking beer out of a McDonald's cup?
That's a big fucking sign.
Red flag?
That was 1,000% the red flag.
I should have known.
I don't judge people on how they dress.
Or should I have not engaged him in conversation? Listen, I should have learned it at an early age. Don't engage strangers.
No. First of all, hold on. We're about to give out the real life tip right here. People pay us money for this shit. That is not a real technique. I know these motherfuckers out here are like, don't engage, look the other way.
That doesn't work.
That's not how that works either. That is why that step
listen, you got to hit them before they hit you. Right?
And you hit them.
Listen, I'll give you the example. I used to live in a place, and I used to go to the corner store every day to buy stuff, right? Mm-hmm. And there was a homeless guy outside this corner store. Every day my man was like, hey, man, you got $1 I could borrow? And every day I'd give him $1. Right? I was like, I feel bad for the guy. One day I just got tired of it, right? And I'm walking up to the corner store. I knew he was going to be there, and I knew he was going to He turned around, he saw me, he was getting ready to say what he was going to say, and I looked at him and said, hey, man, you got $1 I could borrow? And my man gave me one.
Okay, that's impressive.
Yeah. You got to hit them before they get you.
And the other one that's a little bit shorter, I was just going to say, is that the nod first is always a diffuser. So if he's walking by and you think there's a problem, you say hello.
Right.
You're like, hey, boo.
Dude, listen.
Maybe don't say boo. Don't say boo. Don't say hey, boo to the dude in the street, please. For my boys out there that are going to go straight to the technique and just do it out of the book, don't do that. But the hello, how are you?
It's disarming.
Oh, 1,000%.
It's disarming. You know what another good one is that really throws people off? I've been using this technique a whole lot.
Which one?
You say, hey, good morning. And they say, hey, good morning. And you're like, how are you doing? They're like, I'm fine. How about you? And I go, I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. When you say thanks for asking, it shuts people. They don't know how to respond.
Yeah,
because they've never gotten to that point.
Right.
Before.
And they don't want to say something else because they're like, I don't know if I should go forward. And if you really just need it as a bypass, they've already walked by.
Right.
Which really works out for you.
I tell you what, it throws people off
all the time.
So you want to hear a great story? Happened this past weekend.
Go.
I've been holding on to this. So it's late night. I'm way out in the
You're in the honey farm?
Yeah, I'm out at the honey farm.
Yeah.
Right? Everybody's asleep, having a cocktail.
Were you outside naked again?
No.
Under the moonlight?
Not this time.
Just making sure.
It's 1:30 in the morning, right? And I'm like, I need to go.
Not quite for nudie time in the
I need to close the door, the sliding gate to the barn.
Okay.
You know, it's nighttime, close up the barn.
Middle of the night, always good.
Should have done it way earlier. I was slacking.
I was going to say, best farming hours is 1 a.m. That's what I hear. What the fuck?
I may have had more than one cocktail.
One boot on.
Right. So as I'm walking towards the barn, off in the woods, what I hear is, ah!
Oh, no.
Ah!
No.
And I'm like, it made the hair on my arm stand up.
Nope.
I was like, what the fuck was that? Right? And it's walking through the woods, past the back fence, about 20 yards off in the woods. And it's going laterally, right? Ah! And I was like, man, the hair on my arms is standing up. I need to have another sip of this cocktail, right?
He's calling me.
Right. Maybe it'll make the hairs lay down. And I go into the barn, and the animals are standing with their asses against the opposite wall, facing the open door. Like they're not near the gate looking out the door.
They're watching it.
They're all the way across the barn on the opposite side of the barn with their asses up against the wall.
Yeah.
Wanted nothing to do with whatever was out there.
Hell no.
And I was like, that's not a good sign, right?
Nope.
Like when everything gets out of the water, like there's an orca, right? When everything gets out of the water, there's an orca. So I shut the barn door and I go out and I'm like, nope, let's get the dogs out. Right, so I called the boy dog out.
They didn't come.
He's standing next to me. It's and I get the old flashlight out and I hit the woods because I'm trying to see what's out there. Like, what the fuck is
Always
out there?
Always a good idea to
right?
bright the monsters.
Right. And this thing's eye shine, I saw it for a split second. Its eye shine was taller than the cattle fence. And it was walking through the woods.
Is this a true story?
True story.
This is your story?
Yes. Happened to me on Saturday. Right? So I look at the dog and I'm like, what's that? What's that? Because that usually gets my boy hypey, right?
Right.
My man bolted for the fence in the same direction.
Okay.
Like, he's like, I'm going to go get some ass, boy. Whoa! And he takes off.
Right.
My dog got to the fence, was there for about 3.7 seconds, turned around and came trotting back.
Oh.
And I'm like, oh, and he went in the house. I was like, oh. It's like, ah! And it just kept on moving. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to go in the house and shut the door now. So, don't know what it was. So I went and sat with some Amish folks. Then,
got to convene the council.
Maybe this was Friday night, because Saturday I convened the council.
Okay.
And I sat down and I'm like, what do you think it was? And they're like, I said, what if it was Bigfoot? And they laughed at me. They're like,
they're familiars.
They laughed at me. I said, what if it was freaking Bigfoot? And they're like, they thought that shit was the funniest thing in the world.
Oh.
And they didn't comment on what it was. I'm like, have you ever heard anything? They're like, no, I don't think I've heard anything about that. But usually when it gets dark,
they said they never heard anything. They've been out there the whole fucking time and nobody heard anything.
Not like that noise.
Get the fuck out of here.
But I remember when it gets dark out, they usually go inside
and do what? Go to sleep? Turn butter?
They get their lanterns on. They read the Bible for a little bit and go to bed. Early to bed, early to rise makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise.
Do you think because they read the Bible all the time, they could like rap really well?
What? I don't understand the comparison, but I don't think they're
reading every night.
I don't think
they read every night to be a good rapper.
Yeah, but I don't think they
could they rap the Bible really well? That's a dead serious question.
Well, I think
you know all the words. You're reading it all the time.
They sing every Sunday.
Oh, would they let us see that?
No.
Okay. Well,
church is a very private time for them.
So we can get into the satanic...
And by the way, they do literally no work, and you can't stop by the house. You can't hang out with them.
So we can get...
And by the way, you know what they do for church? They don't have a church they go to. They have church at people's houses.
You're telling me...
And every Sunday, it's a different house.
That we can get invites, shout out to the homies, from into the House of Wills, but we can't get into a fucking Amish singing?
Nope.
Yeah, definitely familiar for Bigfoot. Amish Mafia's probably been driving Bigfoot this whole fucking time.
And by the way, Sunday was my man's opportunity to host church.
What if...
And I said, how many people are going to be at your house? And he's like, probably 60.
Oh.
And then they feed them all.
Do we get to go?
No.
What if Rumspringer's really people that are Amish running out in Bigfoot outfits all over the world, dressing up as Bigfoot, getting drunk, and running around in front of the Englishmen?
That's a possibility.
And this thing's just been going on for ages.
Have you ever seen the documentaries about Rumspringer?
Does it have to do with Bigfoot?
No, it has to do with the time off that they take off in the massive 600 party people keg parties they throw on their farms.
I watched that movie Sex Drive where they were traveling with people who were doing Rumspringer stuff. It was pretty funny.
Oh yeah, but that's not a fairly accurate depiction.
No.
But
no, it was just a bunch of drunk people going to see Good Charlotte or something. A bunch of drunk Amish watching Good Charlotte. I was like, this makes sense, I guess. It's cool.
No, so they throw these massive
field
keggers.
Yeah, they have field raves.
They have field raves.
They do the battery thing and hook up the systems and have big raids. It's like the old school raves in the woods and shit.
And what they do is because they have friends in other communities around the country, right?
Yeah.
And my cousin's from North Carolina and my other cousin's up in New York and so-and-so's and so-and-so. They reach out to all of their cousins and friends and family members in other states who are also going on Rumspringer.
Yeah.
And they come in from all over the country.
Get the fuck out of here.
And they have massive...
Does it show them partying?
In the documentary?
Yeah.
Absolutely it did.
Did it show them wearing the outfits the whole time?
No, they're just in regular clothes. They wear our clothes during Rumspringer.
Listen, they're cheating. We've seen them wearing Jordans lately. We went over this. All right, we need to have some of our other listeners in the sanitation department who, help the Amish with some of their septic tanks and stuff. They've been talking about it. The Air Jordan rumors are true. The fighting rumors are true. It makes sense.
Amish rake fighting?
Yeah.
Or are you talking about
when
they play Roadhouse?
Yeah, exactly. They the only fucking movie they've ever seen is Roadhouse, and they just watch it on repeat every Friday. They're allowed to go see it one time. So every Amish kid just aspires to be fucking
Patrick
Swayze. Bro, that's totally true. That's why those kids are all yoked, scrawny kids. They look like they're trying to get ready to try out to be in the movie Breakpoint.
Dude,
that's what they look like.
I just met a 15 or 16-year-old Amish kid because he came over to do some work.
Was he yoked?
My man, he didn't listen. He didn't look yoked.
Yeah.
But my man,
He started picking shit up with one hand. He's like,
bro,
where do you want this?
he grabbed my man. He didn't lift it up, but he was manhandling a roll of fencing that was like 300 something pounds.
Yeah. And he didn't even breathe heavy, huh?
Bro, I had these 8-foot fence posts that I needed sunk into the ground, and my man had a post hole digger and dug 23 of them.
Right. Before you got them all put in, too. Yeah.
He had them all dug out.
He had it done and got another job while you were still working.
He had them 4 foot in the ground each.
Yeah. That's how it feels like traveling the world with Joe Skelly, the real Joe Skelly, not you AI bot. But the real Joe Skelly, I mean, it's hard. It's hard work, man. I'm kind of happy you're around because I get a little bit lazier. Don't tell him I said that.
I won't.
I know you won't. I've got you programmed correctly.
Oh, here's another AI thing for you.
Except for the medical thing. I can't.
I was just reading about this. So they were running some simulations with an AI.
Okay.
Right? A closed off AI. So it wasn't out there on the net
on
anyway.
The webs, on the great
It wasn't on the webs, right?
He couldn't see the ditties. All right.
So they told this AI it worked for a major corporation.
Uh-oh.
Right? And they needed help running the corporation, right?
Uh-oh.
And they leaked some fake emails to the AI that this guy in the corporation was having an affair.
Okay.
Okay.
Kind of classy. Good.
So then they had the guy that they leaked these, affair emails to the AI.
Okay.
Tell the AI it needed to shut itself down. The AI attempted to blackmail him with the emails. You want me to shut down? I'll release these emails.
Oh my God.
Yep. Sarah Connor.
Y'all playing with fire.
Sarah and John Connor are looking at us like we're a bunch of idiots.
Not me, bro. I'm going the analog way. I mean, besides having an AI Joe Skelly bot, I've never even worked with AI.
Can I ask you, totally sidebar, why you got a sneaker sitting on the top of your speaker?
Oh, that's a studio sneaker, bro. I wear them sneakers around the studio sometimes when I'm in my boxers.
Just the one?
Well, it depends. The other one's somewhere else right now. It's hidden.
Okay.
Because I was hiding it in case somebody broke in.
Or did you get the white sneakers so you can wipe off the marker so you could practice doing your home design?
Yeah, I wrote on the bottom. Look, hey, pick that sneaker up and show AI Joe Skelly the
your
bottom
own personal
of that
fashion shoes.
Just show him the bottom. Flash him the bottom. There you go. See, I wrote on it. See?
Oh, nice. I like it.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah,
I like it.
Those are my idea sneakers. That's what I was wearing a couple weeks before I met the real Joe Skelly.
Listen, this sounds like some fucking Harry Potter bullshit.
Hey, they work.
I wrote my intention on my magic item and
they work. They work.
All right, hey, that's all that
Did
works.
Did you see that? Speaking of that, was that this episode we were talking about the pilot who fucking blippied himself into speed? At speed? Is that this episode?
I don't remember. It might have been.
Jesus.
Yeah. Yes, it was.
We gotta drink less. And also for the guys who are listening to the show that are in the AA, you're doing great. Let's make it through the whole episode without having a drink. And
don't go to a party for AA people and say you're here because you buy drugs from the people hosting the party.
Son of a bitch. I didn't even know I told you about that. That was not good. All right. So,
and then realize, because you didn't realize it was an AA party and you were playing a joke, you thought it was funny.
Thank God nobody listens to this because those fucking broads were not happy. Dude, I felt like I just got kicked out of school again, but in like 7th grade for the dumbest shit. Like just being like having to tell. Like there was like 4 women there, and like I'm not saying they were like hot or anything, but it was weird just to have these older women just be like, "We're so fucking disappointed in you," and I was like, "I'm shamed. I'm gonna go hit myself in the barn." Like
self-flagellate.
Yeah, I don't even know what happened, bro. It was so weird.
See what happens when your mouth just opens and things just fall out of your mouth.
Well,
I give you an example.
That's why we're not supposed to have a radio show.
I was at a place. Speaking of which. I was in a place and it was supposed to be super professional, and there was a woman who was working there and she was fanning herself. She's like, and by the way, the AC was on super high, right? Super high.
Oh no.
Super ice cold in there. She's fanning herself.
Cutting glass.
She's like, no, you can't tell, but she's fanning herself. She's like, man, it's hot in there. And all of a sudden, out of my mouth, it just fell. Oh, is somebody going through the change?
Damn.
They were not happy.
Yeah, you can't say that.
They were not happy.
You can't say that.
Yeah,
because nowadays it can be like 5 changes too. So you really fucked on. That's 5 different. That's 9 UFOs, dog, that you can't identify. Heyo, what was that one called? I don't know. Slightly curved, sir. It was going very fast. From only left to right, though. It was like Zoolander. He couldn't turn right or left.
Is it FedEx that only makes right turns?
Shit.
I think it's FedEx that only makes right turns.
That would be perfect, bro.
Did you know that?
Is that would be amazing.
It's a real thing.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Get the fuck
It's either
outta
FedEx
here.
or UPS. When they plan their routes so they only make right turns throughout the entire route.
Oh, that makes sense, because then all the routes connect and you're never double heading.
No.
Like the other
it
people.
It saves gas.
Yeah, because you never
You don't
run
have to
into the
wait
same
for
people.
traffic to make a left turn.
Oh, that also makes sense. I thought they were doing it so they could build all the routes correctly, like the mailman.
You're welcome.
I gotta look that up. We
Yeah.
gotta fucking talk to FedEx Dan. Shout out to FedEx.
And you know
FedEx
what?
Dan.
I did
He'd let
talk
us
to
know.
somebody, another listener, who used to work for FedEx.
Yeah, that's FedEx.
I remember
Dan.
when we were talking about no. This is somebody a listener
Yeah.
I met, and he said we were 100% correct about FedEx
About which part?
when we were talking about how long it takes to get to become a driver and all that other crazy shit we were talking about.
Oh,
He goes,
yeah.
yeah. He goes, they offered me a really high paying job, and I told them to go fuck themselves. That I was done.
No,
They
shit.
offered him like a driver job with overtime and all this other stuff, and he's like, "No, I'm tired. I'm tired of lifted packages. I'm gonna go get an education and do something different."
Right. Yeah. My boy FedEx Dan works at FedEx because his wife is rich and he doesn't have to work. And he's like, dude, I get bored if I sit at home. Kind of reminds me of you. And so
He has a side
no,
gig.
he does. He does remind me of your people and the people you hang out with, that whole group of street urchins. But but he goes, but this guy was a fucking cop for 2 years, bro. He used to tell me all the time, he's like, you're gonna hate it. And I was like, what do you mean? He goes, it's full of fucking idiots. He's like, you're gonna hate it. So his job, and I was like, well, maybe I should work at FedEx with you. And he's like, only if you like to run stupidly around like an idiot all day. And I was like, well, dude, why do you do it? And he goes, I don't know. He's like, my wife makes like 7 figures. She's the head of some famous bank.
Okay.
Like their VP of something. He goes, I haven't had to work a day in my life for like 20 years. He goes, I just do this because it's awesome. He's like, and then I take the money and I spend it on beer.
Oh my
And I'm
god,
like, are you
that's a lot
serious?
of beer money.
Well, he was, I'm not being racist here. He was a proud Irishman. And he liked to talk about it. He'd be
Okay.
like, hey, man, $900 on the tab tonight. We're doing it. And I'm like, I
Whoa.
don't think so, bro. Like, you're
That's a
living
lot.
large.
That's a lot.
He liked to travel. He liked to do that. But he was a wild man. Like you. He'd owned bars. He'd done vending. He'd done the cop thing for 2 years. He was like, I did that for 2 years. I got super bored.
Dude, I always
like,
find it
what?
super interesting when you meet people that don't have all these jobs because they lose their job,
Yeah.
but because they're like, I wanted an adventure, so I did this thing. And then I
Yeah.
did that adventure, then I did this job because I wanted this adventure.
I mean, I've done that with like smaller jobs. I've never done that with a job that like was really big. But like I got the gas station job because I like soda pop. You know? No, like the character.
Oh, okay.
Like his name's not Dairy. I'm sorry. I always say soda pop. It's Dairy.
Dairy, right.
From The Outsiders.
Right.
Like he worked at a gas station, and I remember being a young kid and remember being like really young and just being like, dude, it's got to be fucking sweet to work at a gas station because you saw him.
You
work
never
at
saw Clerks though.
No, at that point, no, I hadn't seen Clerks. No,
What if you'd seen Clerks first? Would you be like, man,
No.
I'm gonna work at a convenience store?
So a convenience store is a little different, right? Like,
I think it
Do
might be
people
entertaining
need-
for a minute. It might be entertaining for a minute. It's like
well,
you
listen,
ever seen the videos of the guy posts? He works at a convenience store and he's always everybody comes and he's like, hey, how you doing? They're like, fuck you.
yeah.
And they say all the crazy shit to him all the time, and he videotapes it. That might be entertaining for a minute.
yeah, just work at Walmart for that, bro.
Oh no.
No, and it is. I think it's kind of cool. Like, it was really cool to learn about. You know what you learn about at a gas station? That's really cool.
What's that?
You learn about people's life schedules. That's what you learn.
Oh.
You see, so the guy. Okay, so like you have a guy, right? On Sunday. Well, we'll say Sunday morning. Sunday morning. I think that's right in Ohio. Saturday morning. The guy comes in at 5:30 a.m. and he buys 2 like 24 packs, and you're like,
Oh man.
homie.
Are you on the way to the construction
What
site?
the fuck, bro? Yeah. Are those going in coolers, sir? But then you find out my man's worked 70 hours third shift all week,
Oh, yeah.
And this is his Friday night is my 5 a.m.
Gotcha.
And that's where you kind of see this weird thing, right? Or then like remember we talked about this in our old episodes about the wine wives. I couldn't believe that, dude. The guys at first, hey, wait till the hot mummies come in, all the rich mamas, and get the wine, at noon. And I'm like, what do you mean? And dude, sure enough, at fucking noon, here come these moms that all they did today was go tanning, go to yoga, and then they came in and got wine.
Yep.
And they're like, I gotta drink this shit before my husband gets home and drinks half of it. I gotta send him back out to get some more. And I'm like, oh, that's gonna be your battle today. That's gangster. That's a cool. I'm not going to battle for that life. Like, I'm not going to fight over that half a bottle of wine. I might have bought 2. I might have maybe sent him for something different. There's just so many fucking things we could do differently than like fight over the wine and then make him come back. Let's just buy 2 right now, bitch. No, I don't want to do that. You're coming back tomorrow. Like, buy 1 No, it's because they'll drink it all. Like, that's their whole schedule, right? Like, that's fucking crazy, dude.
And you see the same people.
Every day.
So here was something.
Every day.
So I got into, we've heard of Skinwalker Ranch.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So a new guy bought it not that long, a couple years back.
Why?
Because he's a super rich guy.
Tell him about Skinwalker Ranch again.
Skinwalker Ranch is the place that the U.S. government and a huge aerospace engineering company, Bob Bigelow, the owner, bought this ranch because allegedly
Bob Bigelow, male gigolo.
There were a lot of UAP sightings and like paranormal activity and all kinds of crazy animal mutilation, all the crazy shit that goes along with all that.
Okay.
So the government bought it, and
random boot.
Bob Bigelow, the guy who owned this aerospace company, bought it, and then he ran top secret government studies on this massive ranch out in Utah, right, to figure out what it was. And they owned it for a really long time, did shitloads of experiments out there. And then they shut down, changed the experiments, went somewhere else, right? And they sold it. So this other guy buys it. He's hired his own science team because he's a billionaire, right? To run experiments out there to see what's really happening there. But he was talking about his lifestyle. He grew up dirt poor, became a multi-millionaire, billionaire, right? And this guy goes to the same gas station in the poor neighborhood he grew up in, convenience store. And every day he goes there 2 or 3 times a day, get a big gulp glass full of Mountain Dew.
Yep.
That's his vice.
That's crazy.
Mountain Dew. Guy pulls up in a $90,000 vehicle in the poor neighborhood to get his big gulp of Mountain Dew every day.
That's wild. But it is.
He could go anywhere.
Yeah.
He's a multi-millionaire billionaire, but the guy goes to his hometown, his home neighborhood.
We had a guy that would come in 3 times a day for no fucking reason, and every time he'd drive a different car.
Oh.
Every time. He had the Bentley, the Beamer, and some other car that I can't name because I can't remember because I don't care.
Right.
But I know it was expensive because I looked it up at some point.
For sure.
But I'm like, homie, you just be swapping these out? And he's like, yeah. And I asked him one day, to his face because I don't care. You build a rapport with them, right? You're friends.
Right.
Dudes come in 3 times a fucking day. You're like, hey, bro, what's up with the car swap? Like, what are you doing? He's like, oh, because I can, my man. And I was like... That's the fucking way, bro. That's the way. It is. He didn't
My man
care.
punched you right in the face with it.
He's
because
like,
I can.
Because I fucking can. I'm like,
good for him.
He's like, I worked hard for it. Fuck it. I'm like, you're right. Have a good day, sir.
Yep.
Enjoy your 4th Gatorade for the day. Like,
his vice is Gatorade, and he's got a lot of cars.
He would come, like the first time he would come in for himself, kind of. The second time he'd come in with like the kids, and they would kind of shop around. He lived 2 houses over,
right?
And was just chilling. He's like, "What's up, homie? Like, I'm here for this again.
Let's run to the store.
Let's do it again.
Let's go to the corner store.
Run it down
because he's got to break up the monotony,
right,
of that home life.
Because he's fucking rich and loaded and just sits at home and supervises.
Right.
I think he was a truck owner, so. He's the guy who owns 6 trucks on the road carrying toilet paper to everybody who needs it during COVID.
Making tons of money, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They were banking that fucking
You know who else makes a shitload of money?
FedEx.
No, the guy... the guys who own towing services.
Shout out to our FedEx guys. Yeah, dog, you don't want to do a towing service job.
But listen to me. Listen to me. So here's the story. There's a guy who caught a number, right?
Yeah.
Did some time at the joint.
Yeah.
Got out, started working for a towing company.
Uh-huh.
Saved up all his money.
Bought his own tow truck.
Bought his own truck.
Yep.
Started running it. Now the guy's got like 10 trucks.
Yeah.
And now he just
Let's
chills.
Just pick something, man. I'm
he
ready.
Just chills.
I'm
and
ready.
All the other people are pulling in all the cash for him.
As soon as I find the real Joe Scaley and I get rid of your AI ass,
I'll tell you how you do it.
I'll tell
Pachinko
you.
machines.
No.
Pachinko machines.
No. Wigs?
Do you know what they are?
No, I don't care.
Okay.
We know, but this
Wigs?
is better.
Wigs?
Two wigs, some nice robes. Surprise Jesus.
Surprise Jesus.
Surprise Jesus is numero uno.
Nobody's
taken it yet.
It's going to be a
fucking
winner.
out there.
It's going to be a winner.
It's out there.
Listen,
It's
we did
waiting.
the research on how to get that 1-800-SURPRISE-JESUS number. That ball's moving forward. You'll be able to text Surprise Jesus or leave voicemails for Surprise
We are
Jesus.
in so much trouble, dog.
It's going to be amazing.
Hell.
It's going to be amazing.
We're going to hell.
Dude, you know what? You're a sneaky bastard.
What'd I do?
Every time I come over, I see a new item in the studio.
What do you mean?
A new item in the studio.
What do you mean?
And I'm just like, where does all this stuff just magically
That
appear?
one?
Yeah,
That one? Speaking of which, before I forget, actually, I do have your item. This was on order from 3 years ago. There you go.
Amazing. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, that only took 3 years to arrive.
That's all right.
Dude, I was looking through some notes the one day, and there was a note written that said,
From 3
order
years
this from Joe and you. And I was like, you son of a bitch. I jumped on the other night and was like, let me put that order in.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I appreciate
We're
it.
delayed. Don't worry, Street Team. More stickers later. Fuck. We are so messed up.
So
Listen, I've built 25 websites, and all of them have ended up in the dump.
hey, you're getting better though.
Oh, we're fast as hell.
One at a time. You're getting better now.
The other day, I rerouted.
You can't do it from the library though.
No, probably not. The
You'll
other
have to
day, I
do it from
rerouted all of our domains to like a whole different website again, and was just like boom, boom, boom. After I'd made 9, and then couldn't figure out how to do it, and deleted all those 9, and then made the other 2 fresh ones, and
It's getting there.
yeah.
So
Wix is pretty good. Shout out to them. This is not paid. We should try to get paid by them, but we probably won't.
By Wix.
Yeah, but Wix website, it's actually really good, dude.
Okay.
It's just overwhelming.
So if you're a young entrepreneur and you're trying to build your
Surprise
website,
Jesus.
no, not that one.
Not that one?
Like, yeah, I know they still all the other ideas because I did see the drive-through cereal restaurant, which really fucking pissed me off. But whatever.
They don't have the wanted poster, though.
No, they don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's not the wanted. It's just a sticker of your face so everybody knows who littered.
Ooh. That's fucking
Public shaming works. They're like, is this
It
guy
is true.
Is this guy missing? No, that's just the asshole who threw the milk jug
Yeah,
out.
on the ground, yeah. Bring back bullying, okay? Those milk jugs are going to have a lot of colored-haired folks on there.
Oh, God.
Colored-haired, I said. Okay, not to be confused with the other thing.
Oh, Lord.
You sons of bitches out there. Don't be fucking cutting up my voices on AIs.
Oh, dude. You're in trouble now.
Shayla, I don't care. I don't support Shayla Booth or his white flag. So if you haven't listened to that episode, go listen to that.
So many
Listen.
so many previous episodes that people need to review.
It's some fuckery.
There's a lot.
It's some fuckery.
We're like 300 episodes. Somehow we managed to put out like 100 a year.
Nobody
Well,
knows.
you know, it was the first year and a half
But we put out 600.
where we were
That was
doing
our first 600.
we were
episode.
doing 3 episodes a week.
We were literally logging our bathroom breaks and just sharing them. This year's going to be fucked up. Shout out to Kenobi.
Hey, I want to give a shout out to all the young people that did their Battle of the Bands this past weekend.
Yep.
I want you to know it was fantastic. You all did a
Yeah,
great
we heard
job.
about that. We heard about that.
We heard how you were holding it down with your bass lines.
Yep.
So we're gonna
Walking that line.
walk. Yeah, walk. I like it. Walk. Yeah.
Yep.
I got some new jams for you to check out. Parliament and P-Funk. Yeah, there's some fatty ass
Look at
riffs
that
in that.
stuff. Look at that
Yeah,
stuff.
a little
Look it
Bootsy
up.
Collins,
Look it up.
right?
Oh, that's a pretty good one.
Maybe
actually.
some Bad Brains.
Even I've listened to that. Not Bad Brains. I haven't listened to any of that.
Sacred Love. That's a good song, right?
Did you come up with a new American team? Just
No.
out of curiosity?
I kind of left that behind.
You shouldn't.
You have one?
It's like no. I just fantasy draft, and I brought it up because of the crackhead we watched do a backflip for an 8-ball. Off of
Everybody. this
yeah,
story.
dude. So we're watching the fucking crackhead, and
Hey,
he's on
hold
a roof.
All right, so hold on.
He's on a 2-story, by the way. It's not even a 1-story, my man. Like, I was wondering because he had that fucking camera angled up, right? And you can only see the top half of the roof and then the crackhead. And I'm sitting here like, dog, why are you so low? Like, maybe this house is on a hill. Nah, my man. My man was straight in a fucking 2.5-story house.
All right, so let's connect the lines here. couple episodes ago, we were talking about
that part. Yeah, I thought we were talking about
100
video.
Americans versus 100 British. Who would win in a fight with no weapons?
Obviously, we already proved that fucking fight.
All right, but
Go poor
we
T.
had mentioned crackheads. A whole bunch of people had mentioned crackheads in the fight against the Brits.
Because their skin's made of ivory.
Yeah, no, because their skin's made of vibranium. Like
The rarest fucking thing in the world.
You're not doing nothing to them. And the video that we saw proved it all, where my man told this crackhead he'd give him $100 if he'd do a backflip.
And an 8-ball.
And
He said if you do a backflip, he goes, if you do the backflip, you're going to get the 8-ball. And he goes, and if you something, he goes, I'm going to give you 100 anyways.
I'll give you $100 too.
Right.
So my man was on the roof.
On the roof.
Of a 2-story house.
He told my man, shut the fuck up so I could focus. He was like, shut the fuck up now so I can concentrate.
And he went,
and then he
my
did a
man was
Bruce
like,
Lee.
he just did some Bruce Lee shit. He did the backflip.
Yes.
Hit the ground.
Yeah, but he hit the ground like a man doing a static jump, homie. Dunk, dunk, dunk. Like, I was like, oh, that was heels, fucking calf, ass. Like, that was dunk, dunk, dunk. I was like, bro, did you break something?
And then he stood up and went, hi-ya!
Yeah, and then he stood up, and I was like, oh, bro.
I was like, Brits, you ain't beating this man.
Bro. Listen, it reminded me of something. I owe a guy from high school 2 8-balls.
Oh, God.
No, this is not weird.
It's
This is the best actually 8-ball story you could have.
all right.
It's good. Remember, I told you we always joke about 9th grade science. I kind of quit science in 9th grade. It was getting boring. And the teacher was like the track coach, and he was one of those creepers. So I was like, homie, I don't want to be in this class with you. So I paid my homie 2 8-balls to do all my work that whole year.
Oh, you told him you were going to.
Well, no, he knows I owe him. Every time I see him at the bar, he's like, you owe me. And I'm like, I know, dog. I'm going to get you back.
Right.
Yeah, I'm going to get you when I find it.
Right.
But I'm not searching today.
Right.
So I owe my man
2 8-balls.
2 8-balls.
For doing all your 9th grade science.
I got like a C, a plus, maybe.
That's all you needed.
To pass.
C's get degrees, I've been told.
C's get degrees. Wow. Wow.
I had a lot of people at one point in time said, don't
Wow.
sweat it. C's get degrees.
Wow. Why are you
Yeah.
always ruining my shit for? That's fucked up, dude. I'm about to just. Okay. You know what, dude? We were done with the Mitnick stuff, but now we got to get into it because now I got to check these doctors' grades before we start going to these places. Nobody's sticking a camera up my butt without A's. You got me on some fucked up shit, dude.
You get your MD and a PhD? Okay, you can work on me.
Yeah, and you better have like a minor in like fucking in like soft hands. You know what I'm saying? Bedside manner, motherfucker.
Soft hands.
What the fuck are you doing? I'm just No.
Yeah.
No, you can't be messing with that stuff.
Yeah, I was kind of disappointed I posted something.
I'm very disappointed in this whole conversation right now. The
Well,
AI bot.
You got to blame the AI for that.
The AI bot. That crackhead did a great job, bro. So shout out to my man.
Who said, shut the fuck up so I can
shut the fuck up so I can concentrate. I was like, on what, homie?
So listen.
You're about to die.
Like my man's done this before and he has a technique
in 2 stories.
Right, he did.
That was 2 stories, right? That was
impressive.
definitely. You think that jump's going to last like 2 seconds and he's falling for like 3.5 seconds. You're like, bro, what just happened?
So I was super disappointed about this post that I put on our page.
MIT scientists created a psychopath AI by feeding it violent content. Yeah.
From Reddit.
Yeah.
And the post was like,
we talked about this.
No, we didn't.
We did.
Oh, did we?
That one's been around for a minute.
Yeah.
They keep doing it. We talked about that one when we did we also did the serial killer.
Oh, the AI serial killer
poet.
Yeah.
Yep, we did. We actually did do. I looked it up. We actually did talk about that AI that tried to make the guy fall in love with him too.
Right.
That tried to convince the man to leave her husband. Chicken drumsticks contains. Oh.
It says back legs only.
But. Oh.
That's on the pic. That was on the chicken package.
Of the chicken package, on the print under the chicken name, it says back legs only. What the fuck does that mean? What the fuck did you just say? The fucking back leg.
I'm just. Here's my next
backroom casting couch shit right here with the 4-leg chicken. What the fuck did I just hear?
Listen, here's my other
Sensei Seagal.
He'll bring him in.
Slay those cocks.
He'll knock all the legs off.
All those 4-legged cocks. Kill them. Set it in Sensei Seagal.
Here's my next PSA.
They call that a Kodagai
Read all
sheet.
the packaging on your food
Ew.
before you consume it.
Dude, I'm just done buying food.
Yeah.
I'm going to eat Pop-Tarts the rest of my life.
You don't want to know what's in those.
Oh.
Yeah.
Bigfoot.
Yeah, Bigfoot.
Listen, back to what I said. If you know any Amish that are dressing up as Bigfoot, let me know. You'll be able to text us soon, so be ready for
text
that.
1-800-SURPRISE-JESUS. You could, it's the 1-800-SURPRISE-JESUS is going to be more of a confessional.
Bro, don't give these motherfuckers ideas, dog. Get off the fucking game. We're done. 97 seconds. Nope. Don't even. It's 60 fucking minutes and we are not going into that. Why did you say that? We better.
Surprise,
There's
Jesus.
never going to be
Why
any
can't I
fucking-
stop killing?
There's never. Oh my God. We're fucking done. If you've seen The Real Joe Skelly, please call me on my private number. Write me on Instagram. We hope you're all okay. We love you all. Leave us a 5-star rating. Please don't take anything serious. The robot says. Don't eat Tide Pods, please.
You know what? We still have a trophy to give away. We still have a trophy to give away.
I keep meaning to put that away so you didn't
Listen,
see it.
we
and
need
then
to come
he
up.
saw it.
We need to come up with a new contest.
No. That's going to the event.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
That's going to the event.
Perfect.
That's gonna go.
All right.
Yeah.
97 seconds, Baes Boyz podcast.
God, we're in so much trouble.